I am a heterosexual man. I've always been attracted to females, but there are certain guys who make me nervous. You know what I mean? Like every now and then I'm just like, oh, hello. Like I never know when it's gonna happen. Like there's this guy that works in the bagel shop in our neighborhood. I can't even make direct, like he has the most mysterious blue eyes. I can't even look him directly in the face. Like as the line moves up, it's like I hope I get him, but I also don't hope I get him. Like my heart is beating faster. My mouth is dry. Finally, I get up to the front. I'm just like, cream cheese, you decide. I don't know what it is. I'm not sexually attracted to him, but I just want him to like me. Desperately.
A lot of people don't know that Vancouver, we have some great tourist attractions, but our best tourist attraction is the crackhead flea market. You never know what you're going to get offered in stolen items. It's amazing. Every time you walk down the street, somebody's like, do you want to buy a Fabergé egg and a Nickelback CD? Like, not really in the market for that. How about a bike with one wheel and a microwave lid? I don't know what I could do with that. How about a broken DVD player and a half-eaten Ferrero Rocher? Sold.
Thank all of y'all and your money, hell yeah. Any poor people make it out, what's up? Hell yeah, thank you for coming out, thank you. But next time somebody asks you if you're poor, don't say nothing. That's why you're poor in the first place. You keep saying it out loud, stop that. Be cool and quiet like the riches over here. Cool and quiet, yeah. I like that, man. Rich people never tell you how much money they got. They never tell you they rich. You ask them a direct question, they give you an indirect answer, you know? You got money? Oh, we're all equal. You know, that's not what I asked. I asked if you had money, you know? That's why sometimes I gotta ask in a different way, you know, ask smoothly, subtly, be cool. Be like, hey man, you play golf? What's up? You a golf player? How you doing? You, all right. Golfers, man, they're always coy too. They're all, I play, but I'm not that good, you know? I'm a member, but I never go, you know, that kind of like, so cute. You never meet like a loud golfer, right? Like a cocky golfer, right? Come off the green like, man, I golfed the out of that round. Like I've never met.
Like your headphones, like that be depressing, you know? Cause I still got the headphones, like with the wires, that's pressure. You gotta untangle it in a room full of Bluetooths. You headlining that show. You the headliner. And everybody just watch you going through it too. As you untangle it, it just look like you knitting a sweater. Just. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm crocheting right now. You like, do you need help? You like, get the away from me. Nah, I just want to know if you have Apple Care. I don't even like apples. No, I don't have Apple Care. I don't like that. Just. Like, I don't know, man. I just recently, like when you, how should I put it? Like, when you when you separate, you realize you realize really your flaws, yo. Like, I gotta do my own shopping now. Like, that's, cause she was the one who normally remembered to bring the bags, right? So now that's on me now. Hey, home, but we gotta get the bags. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, let's get the bags. All right. Now I gotta like go shopping like by myself. Like this a dope. It's crazy. This is wild, yo. You don't just be shopping like, yo, this is wild. This is. You end your whole day. What you doing? Like, bro, I just went shopping. I'm done for the count. I can't. I'm sorry. What happened? I just went shopping. It is wrap for me for today. Call out of work. What happened? I just went shopping. I need some time to myself right now. I gotta meditate. Cause you don't know what you're going through. Right? You gotta have like a favorite bag too. You realize that? Like a go-to bag. Gotta have a favorite bag. Like, my favorite bag is the blue IKEA bag. It's my favorite bag, yo, right? Strong, right? Durable, right? The straps never break. And you could literally, like, put anything in it, right? Like, during a hurricane, I just saw a brother just kayaking the blue IKEA bag. He put the straps up like this. That was like, he was like staring at it. I'm like, damn. And I'm looking at him like, damn, he going well against the current. That is beautiful to see. Beauty, art. Good for him. You know what the crazy thing is, yo? I've never been to IKEA. I don't know how I got that bag. How did I get it? How did this bag become a part of the Robertson household? I never went there. I don't know how it looks. I heard good things about it. I've never been there. It's just, how? How did it get here? That's like when you chilling, then you just like see like a beauty mark on your body. Like, where did you come from? I never noticed you. You wasn't here when I first started, but.
I'll just get this out of the way. I am aware of my accent as well. I don't need you guys just staring at me, being like, where's it come from? Because that happens every show I do. The first 5 minutes, they won't let me be a person with thoughts. It's just a guessing game. They're like, is it Texas? No. Mississippi? I'm like, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. I just tell them, Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee. Every time, like, oh, you like a redneck? I'm like, absolutely not. It's highly offensive what you just said. Then they're like, you like a hillbilly? I relate. But if you meet an actual hillbilly, you have made a terrible mistake. You need to get off their property. They don't like that. That's like their only rule. Get! Oh, he said get with an I. Go. I get it. They also want to know, too, like, especially people that never been to the South, fascinated, like, what's the South really like? What's it really like? I'm like, well, it's probably like 8 or 10 of the coolest cities, full of the coolest people, very just unique and just a meld of different human beings and cultures. It's amazing, and the rest of it is exactly what you've heard. But more intense than you can imagine. And then they're always like, well, what's the worst part of the South? I'm like, Alabama, before you finish that question. You guys know, all right. And they're always, every time though, they're always like, well, what about Mississippi? I'm like, that's not their fault. Historically, the worst education system in our country since the start. They don't know any better. In Alabama, they know better. They just don't give a shit. That got applause in Birmingham. It's not what I was going for. I was trying to shame them. And they were like, that's us. Yeah. Roll Tide. I know how the accent sounds. I'm aware. It sounds dumb. I get it. It's a scam. We're all running. People think we're way dumber than we actually are. It's the opposite of the British accent. Think about it. Yeah, they sound smart. But if you listen, you're like, oh, you're dumb as hell. I get it. There's certain words I shouldn't say. Makes people uncomfortable. Like, my wife is Jewish. Just saying that, people are like, hey, easy. Careful. I'm like, what? I married a Jew. People are like, I know you can't say that. Like, you can't say that. We just had a baby. I made a Jew. People are like, I gotta get out of here. He's trying to get people fired. Don't go over there. I did. I made a Jew, you guys. You can applaud. That's cool. It would have been weird if you kind of applauded and then didn't. You guys came through. I didn't know growing up I could make a Jew. I didn't know. But I can, and I did. Pretty cool. What happened was my wife is Jewish, and her vagina also Jewish. And the baby came out of there, Jew. It's science. And religion, I think. I don't understand. It's confusing. I don't ask a lot of questions. But he's got blonde hair and blue eyes. I Nazi-proof that son of a bitch. You can laugh out loud. That's a good thing I did. You guys can enjoy yourself here at the comedy show. Feel free. That joke 3 or 4 years ago was just historically funny, and then it got relevant again. I'm just saying, I did not see them making a comeback. I didn't. Fascinating. 3 or 4 years ago, people laughed and like, that's funny. Now people laugh and like, that's good you did that. I get this question a lot because I sound like I do and then I say the stuff I do. How'd you get that way? It's confusing. You sound, like you sound, but the stuff you say is not from where you're from. Like, I had to evaluate it, and it's like, I think it's because my parents are pretty cool people. Like, my dad's a football coach and teacher. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I called him before he retired like a couple years ago. I was like, hey man, what do you do during the day? He's like, you need to mind your own business is what you need to do. Yes sir, coach. My mom's an English teacher and a maniac. That's what she does. Sure, her name is Storm. Yeah, that's weird, right? I was in my 20s before I was like, that is weird. Because when you're little, you're just like, I guess everyone's mom's named after an American gladiator. That's how it is. That's Steven's mom, Laser. I lived in Seattle for a while, and they came to visit my parents. And there's a WNBA team there named the Seattle Storm. And I was like, is there anything you guys want to do while you're here? Like anything special? And my mom was like, I want to go see that Seattle Storm play. And I was like, why? She's like, because their name's, I hate you so much. Smart ass. I was like, professional smart ass. I had no interest in going in the game, and my dad was like, I like fundamental basketball. You gotta listen to him, he's kind of mean. So I got them tickets, they went to the game, they came back. My dad walked past me like nothing happened. I was like, hey mom, what's going on? How was the game? It was great, I think I might be homophobic. What happened at the game? She's like, well, they were great seats. Thank you so much. We're down close, and action started happening. We were having fun, and then there was like a timeout, and then there were a lot of lesbians there. I was like, you don't have to whisper that word. That's their preferred word. She said, okay. Well, there are a lot of, I can't not whisper it. I don't know why. I was like, okay, there are a lot of lesbians there, Mom, yeah. And she was like, yeah, and then when there's the timeout, they'd all start making out and like their tongues going everywhere. I was like, oh, I don't like this. I was like, huh. Well, if there had been a bunch of straight couples there making out during the timeout, would that have bothered you? Yes. Stop making me see your tongue in public. I don't like that. I'm like, oh, Mom, you don't like public displays of affection, PDA. You're not homophobic. And she was like, oh, thank God.
It's in there. I didn't like it, but it was in there, you know? And that was the moment where I was like, oh, this is how I am the way I am. Because my neurotic mother, my whole life has been like, have you worried about something that doesn't exist and can't happen yet? She go worry about that.
You were looking at someone right now. I wasn't sure whether I was going to say this, but you guys seem very friendly, so I'm going to be a little vulnerable. You guys are all looking at someone who in 2019 still is a member of America Online. AOL, the Scarlet Letters. AOL was an email platform people used to use back in the Paleolithic era. I can see your disgust, your mocking derision. That's fine. It just makes me stronger. I use AOL for cybersecurity reasons. You guys are all worried about your email getting hacked. Nobody's hacking AOL. What are you hoping to find? Crock-pot recipes? I'm hiding in plain sight. Greetings from the middle distance. 24 years I've been a member of AOL. That's a longer relationship I've had with an actual human being. I'm gonna stick with it, man. It's gonna come around again. Everything people make fun of eventually comes around. AOL is gonna be like that song Africa by Toto. People are just gonna arbitrarily decide it's cool one day, and I'm gonna be there. Part of me feels like the cool kids are just waiting for me to leave so they can all flood in and gentrify it. Turn it into like a digital Brooklyn or something. I'm gonna be like that one old lady who won't sell her brownstone. It's not my only email. I use Gmail under duress. I had to sign up for Gmail like 6 years ago because I was trying to get a job writing for a TV show, and my friend called me and he's like, hey man, listen, this is really good stuff, but do you have a different email address that you could send this from? Because if they see AOL, you're not gonna get this job. What am I, a registered sex offender? It's 3 letters at the end of my name. Who cares? And listen, I don't want to share everything with Gmail. A man has certain needs, okay? There's certain things I don't want to share with Sergey Brin's algorithm. Listen, I do a lot of late night shopping. When I get high at 2 in the morning and buy a onesie for my dog, they're going to ask for a confirmation email. I don't want Gmail to have that information. My Tybo exercise DVDs, my set of Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon drink coasters. No, you take that over to AOL. They keep it hush-hush. And AOL reminds me of like a kinder time in the internet. Everything's so serious now. People used to have silly, fun email addresses. It's true. Now it's just yourname@gmail.com. It wasn't like that, man. For 8 years, my primary day-to-day email address was mrblahlblah@aol.com. I had that printed on a business card that I handed to people with pride. By the way, if any of you ladies recognize Mr. Blah Blah at AOL.com, I would like to apologize for trying to lure you into a private chat room, asking for your age, sex, and location. What can I tell you? It was a different time. I still basically feel like the same person. That's the strange thing is, when you do comedy for a living, ostensibly, you live like a sophomore in college for your entire adult life, which is amazing when you're 25. It is not good when you're 45. When I bump into people that I grew up with and they start talking to me about like adult subjects like the stock market, I'm like, who are you, my dad? It's not acceptable. You can't be above personal finance in your 40s. I have to come up with a better retirement plan than my current one. My current retirement plan is spend whatever money I have and then kill myself. Like, that's my current agenda. I'm 60% joking. No, I don't mean that in a sad way, like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. I can always kill myself. Like, it's an option. No, I was getting really stressed out about my bills, then I remembered, I could just kill myself. That doesn't make you feel just a little better knowing that's on the menu? Some of you are taking this too seriously. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking in my 80s, like 40 years from now. I'm gonna live a long, happy life. Eventually, I will run out of cash. I'll have to move on to my credit cards. And from that day forward, we are officially on the clock. Time to wrap it up. Enter the dismount, so to speak. Go on whatever dream vacation I've always fantasized about. Put it all on MasterCard, because screw them. I'm gonna wring every last cash advance out of my credit cards. And then the day before the police show up to throw me into like debtor's prison, I'm just gonna close the garage door, turn the car on, and go to sleep. You act like that's depressing. That is way less depressing than going to an accountant and figuring this out. Ugh. Now all I need is a home with a garage. Tears of a clown. I did get my taxes done last year, and the accountant got mad at me. He told me I need to invest in something called a Roth IRA. Do you guys know what a Roth IRA is? Yeah? You just cheered for a financial plan, sir. Maybe you can explain it to me, because the entire time he was talking, all I did was imagine David Lee Roth as an Irish terrorist. He said Roth IRA, and I was just like, and I heard nothing after that. He just kept yammering on. I had a little thought bubble of David Lee Roth dressed as a leprechaun, like doing high kicks with a Tommy gun, like, give Ireland back to the Irish, Aaron go brawler, scoobity boobity bop. David Lee Roth was a singer in a rock and roll band. Rock and roll is a type of music that, okay, just make sure no child left behind. I don't need to tell you people this, you guys. You DC smarty pantses. You know who doesn't seem as silly to me as they used to? Doomsday preppers. Remember how ridiculous those guys used to seem? Like, hey, look at that weirdo with the beard and the bomb shelter. Now I'm like, wait, so how far below ground does that need to be? What is the proper jar size for urine storage? It's fine, man. I won't be here. I don't care. I'm 45. Which means I'm not elderly, but I am decaying. I've crested physically. Like, it's not getting better. There's literally nothing positive in my future from a physical standpoint. It's not like, man, just you wait till I turn 50. I'm gonna be ripped. Nope. For the rest of my life, it's this body or more disgusting. That's what it is. It's all going in one direction, just talking about pace. You know when you pull a tomato out of your fridge? You know, because like 2 weeks ago you were feeling optimistic at the grocery store? I don't know if that resonates with people. Every 6 months or so, I'll be at the grocery store packing up my usual cartload of garbage, my Diet Mountain Dew and my flavor-blasted goldfish crackers. And this weird wave of health optimism will sweep over me, like, what if I start making salad at home? I'm gonna change my life. Today's the day where I transform into a salad guy. I start throwing produce in my cart willy-nilly. I never feel so proud as when I'm pushing a cart full of vegetables up to the register. You're right, supermarket lady, that is a lot of salad I'll be having later. You losers in line are gonna be waiting for a while because she's gotta weigh all this. No scanning for this kid. You gotta punch in some codes for me, lady. What is the code for artichokes? I don't know. Look it up in your little spinny wheel. That little paper towel holder with the numbers on it. Look it up. Then I go home and I take my $73 worth of produce and drop it in the bottom drawer of the fridge and forget about it. Cut to 15 days later. It's around midnight, and I've had one of those days. You know, those days where you end it by just staring into the fridge looking for answers. You're not even hungry, it's just like, okay, fridge, give me something. Give me something. Let's turn this one around, fridge. You can do it for me. What if I get really close and shut the door behind me? Does that feel like a hug? Is that kind of like a hug from the fridge? It's so cold. Just like mommy. I spent a lot of nights staring into the fridge, man. Like, all right, nothing on this shelf. Nothing on this shelf. Nothing down here. What the hell is this? Oh my God, that's salad! I totally forgot about salad. Remember salad? That was that day I was gonna change my life. Oh my God, I was so high that day. But sometimes you will pull a tomato out and it's like smaller than when you bought it. Like it's not rotten, but it's been in there for a while, so it's like a little shriveled. When you poke it, it leaves a dent. And you have to ask yourself, can I eat this without it making me sick? Ladies, that is the exact stage that this body is in. Oh, you can eat me. But it must be today. You have to eat me today. I don't think she's into it. What about you, Chrome Dome? You want to get weird tonight? You and me? A little sexy? Make this a Valentine's to remember? I'm trying to stave off the inevitable. I do go to the gymnasium. I don't like it. I'm not one of those weirdos who enjoys physical fitness. I used to go to a personal trainer, and I had to stop because the guy was just too excited about life. Just bummed me out. He's always telling me to bring it. Like, I'd be on the bench trying to push up the bar, he'd be standing above me. Come on, man, bring it, bring it. Like, dude, I don't even think I have it. So let me look around and I'll just bring whatever I find. How about you bring it and I borrow it for like an hour? And 10 minutes later, he told me to get some. Like, come on, man, get some. Okay, why did I need to bring it if there was some here? That makes zero sense. Wordplay. I'm making changes. I am making changes. I'm trying to quit. Just quit overall. That's my plan for the future. Quitters get a bad rap. There's a lot of anti-quitter bias in this country. From an early age, they tell you, hey, stick with it. Don't be a quitter. The world needs quitters, people. Without quitters, a stampede would never end. Think about it. A herd of buffalo thundering across the plain, just running. They don't know why they're running. They're just running because everybody else is running. They'd run until they drop dead, if not for that one heroic quitter who looked around and said, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna go chill by the creek. I aim to be that buffalo.
Been touring for 15 years, and my favorite thing to do on tour is eat good food. It's my favorite thing to do. Like, everywhere we go, we try to find the best food. Like, and we want to find that local, family-owned, you can only get this right here type of place. You know what I'm talking about? So everywhere we go, we get the best food. Except when we went to Birmingham, Alabama. I'll tell you what happened. We get to Birmingham, and I'm doing my thing where I'm just talking to people, asking people where we should go eat. Like, hey, where's the hot spot? Where do you go? I want to know. Let's go. This girl recommends a Mexican restaurant. I was like, "Aww, no thank you." Because we're in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't want Mexican food here. Like, we're in the South. Take me where I could get some Southern food, like biscuits and gravy, shrimp and grits, butter on butter. But she said a Mexican restaurant. I was like, ooh, hard pass, thanks though. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Hold on. Let me not judge, okay? Because people know their city. They know what's up where they live. They know where to eat. They know the hot spots. So I was like, you know what? Let me not judge. Also, let me not limit my people, because maybe one of my people done immigrated over here. And maybe when he got here, he was like, keep going, don't look back. By the time he looked up, he's in Birmingham, Alabama. Is this California? Nah, you went the wrong way. Highway. But maybe he decided to stay. And maybe he started by making tacos on a little taco cart right outside of the nightclub. Everybody starts hearing about Jaime's Tacos. Hey, have you ever had one of Jaime's Tacos? Those are the best tacos I've ever had in my life. Jaime's Tacos, Jaime's Tacos. Maybe he is so popular, he opens up a taco truck. Hey, have you ever been to Jaime's Taco Truck? Those are the best tacos I've ever had in my life. Jaime's Tacos, Jaime's Tacos. Maybe he gets so popular, he opens up his very first restaurant in Birmingham, Alabama, Jamie's. Maybe that's what happened. So I was like, you know what? Let me not judge. Let me go ahead and check out this Mexican restaurant in Birmingham, Alabama. So we get there. As soon as I walk in, I notice that it's all white people, not one Mexican. Strike one. Listen, this is not about white people. This is about the rules of restaurants. Whatever restaurant you go to, whatever culture that restaurant is, if you do not see the people of that culture in that restaurant, leave. Because if they won't even co-sign on this, it's not legit. If you go to a Chinese restaurant and you don't see no Chinese people, girl, bye. Even if you see one Chinese guy, listen real close, he might be adopted, don't fall for it. You need 2 cosigns in that situation. I walk into this Mexican restaurant, I didn't have no cosigns. I became the cosign. I was like, oh man, we already drove all the way out here. Let's just give it a shot. We sit down. They charged me for chips and salsa. Strike 2. Everybody knows that chips and salsa are free. It is our gift to humanity. Oh, but not in Birmingham, Alabama. Chips and salsa, that'll be $2.75. Excuse me, please? I'm sorry, is Jaime here? If that wasn't bad enough, this next moment is where my life changed. I'm reading the menu, and it says they have guacamole and seasonal guacamole. I said, seasonal guacamole? What's that? Are there any Mexican people here tonight? Okay, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of seasonal guacamole? Me either. I never heard of it in my whole Mexican life. I didn't know what it was. I had to ask my waiter. I said, excuse me, sir? Yeah, Chad. Let me ask you a question. What comes in the seasonal guacamole? And he says, walnuts and candied apples. Y'all, I was personally offended. I could not believe they were doing this to my people. I knew I needed to say something. I needed to speak up. This was my si se puede moment. But we were in the South, so the only words that would come out of my mouth were, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You take that guacamole back to the pit where it came from. I do not receive that. Get under my feet, devil.
I've been told I give off the energy of an emotional support animal, which is unfortunate because I am going full throttle. This is 1,000% of my energy, very excited. So I hope you all will match my energy with significantly more energy than me. See a lot of familiar faces. Some friendly faces. Couple haters, but a lot of friendly faces. I saw some people rolling in late. I'm a late person myself, and the early people do not like us. The early people say, you being late means you don't respect my time, which is such an early person thing to say. Like me being late has anything to do with you. I'm not late because I don't respect your time. I'm late because I was doing something more important. I was showering for a long time, and I forgot you existed. Briefly, just briefly. But I respect you. My dad will show up an hour early and text, hear no rush, which should be illegal. That is a devastating text to receive. But I had a good pandemic. I got into, wasn't for everyone, but I got into sports gambling over the pandemic, and a lot of people say that's addictive, but to me it's just kind of a rush like no other. It's not addictive. I mean, sure, sometimes I'll engage in short-term stimulus despite long-term adverse results. It's not addictive. It's just something that engages my mind night and day and ruins my relationships. I finally called one of those 1-800-gambler numbers. They were like, I bet you won't quit. I was like, you're on. Lost $40, but... I really started messing around with early bedtime, and that is addictive. Start cozying up at 10, you're like, where's this been? 10 is the gateway to 9:30. Next thing I know, I'm curling up at 8:45. Your friends are like, where you been, Joe? You're like, busy. Super busy. I got good relationships and stuff. 8 p.m. is the overdose of early bedtime. That's when you've gone too far. You wake up 3 refreshed. Walk the streets in the night with the other addicts and criminals. Trying to make new friends. Looking in the coffee shop window, 2 more hours. Then maybe I can help them open. Weed was legalized in New York City, and I finally started trying weed gummies. I think I'm the only person that's like, sure, I'll do weed as long as it's no longer cool. Weed gummies, gateway into regular gummies. Yeah. Wow. They taste good. I forgot how good they taste. Now I'm eating weed gummies, regular gummies, vitamin gummies. I'm a gummy boy now, and it's tough. It's a lot of gummy. Doing a lot of gummies, and it is more fun to say you're doing gummy vitamins. Yeah, you want to come over, do some C? We could do E. I got fish oil, make your eyeballs slippery. Could do some supplements, GABA, tryptophan, melatonin, get in bed at 8. Dude, last time I took melatonin, I almost didn't wake up. That was nuts, dude. Love melatonin, dude. If marijuana is a real medicine, isn't it time for other medicines to step up the fun? Why don't we have antibiotic chocolates? Penicillin Sour Patch Kids? Get some Lipitor brownies, I don't know. Vape the vaccine, go in for the booster bong, Johnson & Joint, I'm just spitballing. A lot of addictions, but otherwise pretty good. Pretty good. I got broken up with to my face, which I recommend, because a lot of people are being ghosted, not me. Right to the dome. It's pretty sweet. People complain about being ghosted. I got ghosted again. What a jerk. I feel like they forget the opposite is when somebody firmly tells you why they never want to see you again. And now that I've experienced both, have to say ghosting might be underrated. Just a little. Sure, it's sad when somebody disappears, but you should try having your flaws expressed. By a woman named Beth. Over a hot cup of coffee. But she was very smart, PhD. She kept beating me at board games. I love game night. She beat me at Scrabble, Trivial Pursuit, chess. On the fourth game night, I was like, I brought Hungry, Hungry Hippo. I have a little two-handed flicking technique that is unstoppable. And I brought Uno. I'll teach you the language. And after that, we can arm wrestle. She did defeat me at those as well. I've heard that men are intimidated to date successful women. What they don't mention is successful women less interested in dumb losers. What's up with that, ladies? That's a double standard. Give us a chance. But the biggest argument we got in, I'm embarrassed. She called me out for mansplaining, and I'm sure you guys know what that is. If you don't, I can't tell you. But it made me think long and hard about it, and I realized I wasn't explaining anything. We were just having a disagreement, and she didn't like what I was saying. And I do think that's the subtle difference now between a man speaking and a mansplaining, is if you hate what he said. That's mansplaining. If you like what he's saying, that's just a nice man talking. And just for the sake of thought, I had to wonder about the exact opposite of mansplaining. I think it would be a woman asking questions that are impossible to answer. And she did that a lot. I just don't think we have a catchy phrase for it, like lady riddling. Or woman sphinxing. She asked me, who do you think's cuter, me or my cat? I was like, I thought we were gonna relax tonight. Now I gotta grind. And I'm looking at her, I'm looking at her cat. I can tell there's a lot of wrong answers. And I thought I solved it. I was like, you're both so cute. And she said, no, you have to pick. I'm like, what is the answer? Finally, I said, you're the cutest woman and your cat's the cutest cat? And she was like, that's correct. I was like, that was a close call. That was way closer than anyone realizes. I know there's wrong answers because we were watching her favorite show, Love Island Australia, 1 week earlier, and she said, who do you think's hotter, Courtney or Jess? And I'm like, I didn't even want to be here. I don't even like Love Island, and now I gotta choose between the hottest 22-year-old. And I said Courtney, and that was incorrect. For a month, she was like, yeah, well, you think Courtney would? Yeah, you think Courtney would like that? God. I failed that test. She could never understand why I don't like Love Island. I just can't get myself to care about the relationships of strangers. I have trouble caring about my friends' relationships. I asked my buddy Tom if he was ever open to having kids. He was like, I have a 9 and a 7-year-old. I'm like, okay. So you're open to it. Thanks for the gossip. But I have learned something important from dating. I've learned the best 3 questions you can ask on a first date to get to know somebody. They are, who's your teenage crush? What will you name your firstborn child? And bank password. And for me, it's Matt Damon, and Matt Damon too. So that's just me. I'm flirting now. No, I do wish I was friends with Matt Damon.